You are becoming the parent you have always imagined, the calm one, the one who reads every chapter, who keeps a color-coded binder of pediatrician appointments before the baby even arrives. You picture swaddle blankets folded in thirds, a nursery painted the exact shade of sage you and your partner have debated for 3 weekends straight. Then, the nurse places a 6-pound, 2-ounce stranger into your arms at 4:12 a.m., and every plan you make goes quiet inside you, replaced by something louder. You feel your hospital room shrink to the size of a single fluorescent light above the bed. The monitor beeps every 1.3 seconds. A nurse writes, "Feeding, 8 men, left side," on a whiteboard that seems to appear out of nowhere. Your phone still shows 47% battery, the charger left at home, and a bag no one remembers packing. You do the math automatically. Insurance deductible, 6 weeks of unpaid leave, $1,140 rent due in 11 days, even as your body still shakes from the epidural wearing off. Somewhere down the hall, another newborn cries, a sound you're already starting to know by heart. You hold a person who cannot hold her own head, and you realize, with a jolt, that you are now the adult in every room you enter. You are wheeled out of the hospital on a Tuesday, a stranger in a wheelchair holding a car seat you have installed and reinstalled 4 times since the night before. You feel the sun outside hit your face like it belongs to someone else's life. The nurse waves. The automatic doors close behind you with a soft hydraulic hiss, and just like that, no one is checking on you every hour anymore. You do the 15-minute drive home at 22 miles per hour, hazard lights blinking, though nothing is wrong, your partner gripping the wheel with both hands like the car itself might betray you. You count red lights. 4. You count breaths in the backseat mirror. Hers, small and fast. Yours, slower, deliberate, rehearsed. Home is 640 square feet, a lease from 18 months ago, back when nursery corner still means nothing but a bassinet wedged between a bookshelf and a window unit AC. The bottle warmer blinks 12 o'clock, never set. A stack of thank you cards you haven't written yet sits untouched on the counter. You place her down in the bassinet for the first time, and the apartment goes silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and your own heartbeat, loud in your ears, counting down to something you can't yet name. You are standing over the bassinet at 2:47 a.m. when it happens. Not a crisis, smaller than that. She won't stop crying, and you reach for the bottle warmer, and your hand is shaking so hard you knock it off the counter. It shatters. Milk spreads across the linoleum in a slow, white map. You freeze. She screams louder. Your partner doesn't wake up. You do something you have never planned to do. You sit down on the kitchen floor, right in the spilled milk, and you just hold her there, both of you crying now, and something in you decides, without asking permission from the rest of you, you cannot do this the way you have always imagined doing it. You feel the decision settle in your chest like a stone dropping into still water, rings spreading out, changing everything they touch. No more color-coded binder, no more calm parent fantasy, just this: a cracked bottle warmer, a stranger's cry that is somehow yours to answer, and 3 a.m. arriving anyway, indifferent whether you're ready. You tell yourself it's just one hard night. It never stays just one night. You are counting days now instead of living them. Day 9, day 14, day 19, each one measured in ounces of formula, hours of broken sleep, the number on the scale at the pediatrician's office that determines whether you're doing this right. You feel your body still recovering, sore, foreign, unfamiliar in the mirror, while everyone around you asks only about your baby. You do the 4 a.m. feeding alone now. Your partner works an 8 a.m. shift, and somewhere along the way, quietly, without a real conversation, you become the one who takes the nights. You don't remember agreeing to that out loud. You just notice one weekend that it's already become the rule. $340 left in checking. You see it on your phone screen at 3:15 a.m., glowing in the dark while she nurses. Diapers, formula backup, the pediatrician copay you keep forgetting is due. You do the math in your head instead of sleeping, and the math never comes out even. You feel something small crack further inside you. Not loud, not dramatic, just a hairline fracture in the competent version of yourself. You tell yourself again that it's just one hard night. It isn't. You are standing in the shower at 6 a.m., water running cold because the tank only holds enough for 11 minutes, and you've used 9 of them just standing there, eyes closed, not washing anything. You feel the ache behind your ribs that has nothing to do with the C-section scar and everything to do with something you can't name yet. You do the math on your marriage the same way you do the math on your checking account. 6 weeks since you've had a full conversation that isn't about ounces or diaper rash or whose turn it is. Your partner asks, "How was the baby last night?" Not, "How are you?" You notice it. You don't say anything. You feel a small, sharp resentment rise up in you toward the crib, toward the schedule, toward the version of your life that no longer includes your name in it anywhere. You push the feeling down fast, the way you push down a bad thought about a friend, because good parents aren't supposed to feel this. You dry off in under 2 minutes. She's crying again down the hall. You go, because that's the job now. But something in your chest stays in that shower a little longer than the rest of you does. You are lying awake at 3:30 a.m., the baby finally asleep beside the bassinet, and the thought arrives before you can stop it. I miss my old life. Not her. Never her. But the version of Tuesday that isn't yours anymore. Coffee at a real cafe, a closed door, a sentence finished without interruption. You feel the guilt hit half a second later, fast and total, like a wave that already knows the shore. You do not say this thought out loud, not to your partner, not to your mother, who calls every morning asking if you're enjoying every moment. You smile through the phone and say yes. You feel something you've never admitted even to yourself, a fear that loving her this much might mean losing every other version of you there could ever be, that the identity collapse isn't temporary, that maybe you're not built for this the way other parents seem to be. You do not act on the darker edges of that fear. You just sit with it, alone, in the dark, feeling both love and grief in the same breath, unsure which one is allowed to win. You feel, for the first time, how heavy a secret can be when it's one you're keeping from yourself. You were 3 weeks in when the isolation stops feeling temporary and starts feeling permanent. You feel it in the small things, the friend who texts, "How's mom life?" and you type, "Exhausted but good," before you've even thought about whether that's true. You do this every time now. Perform fine. Delete the honest draft before sending it. You feel your phone buzz at 11 p.m., a group chat of old coworkers making plans for Friday. You watch the bubbles appear, then disappear, then appear again. You don't answer. Not because you don't want to go, because you don't know how to explain a life that no longer has room for Friday. You do the same 4 rooms every day now. Bedroom, kitchen, nursery corner, and the 6 feet of hallway between them. The walls of your 640 square feet have started to feel less like a home and more like a holding cell you love very much and still want out of sometimes. You feel the private confession from days ago growing heavier, not lighter. This belief that something is wrong with you for missing your old life, for feeling both grateful and grieving in the same hour. You haven't told anyone, not yet. The silence is starting to cost you more than the truth would. You are standing at the bathroom sink at 4 a.m. when you finally catch your own eyes in the mirror. Really look. You feel how tired they are. Not just sleep tired, but a deeper kind. The kind that's been building quietly since the hospital room, since the shattered bottle warmer, since that first night alone. You do something different this time. You pick up your phone before the thought can talk you out of it. You text your sister. Not, "We're good," this time, but the truth. "I don't feel like myself. I think I need help." Your thumb hovers over send for 11 full seconds. You feel your heart pound like you've admitted something illegal. You hit send anyway. You do not wait for her to fix it. You just wait. 3 dots appear almost instantly. Coming over tomorrow. You don't have to do this by yourself. You feel the stone in your chest, the one that's been sitting there since that first cracked open night, shift for the first time. Not gone, just lighter. You realize the version of yourself you're grieving isn't lost. She's just waiting for you to stop pretending you don't need anyone. You are sitting on the same kitchen floor 3 weeks later. No shattered bottle warmer this time. Just you, her, and a cup of coffee that's still warm when you finally get to drink it. You feel something different in your body today. Not fixed, not back to normal, just steadier, like a table that's finally stopped wobbling on uneven legs. You do the 4 a.m. feeding again because that part hasn't changed, but your partner takes the 6 a.m. one now without you asking twice, a conversation you finally had out loud at the kitchen table 4 days ago, both of you admitting you've been drowning quietly in the same house. You feel lighter for having said it. You feel her hand wrap around your finger while she eats, and for the first time you let yourself sit in both truths at once, that you miss your old life and that you would not trade this one for it. Both can be true. You stop waiting for one feeling to cancel the other out. You do not have it figured out. The $340 becomes $290, becomes a number you've stopped checking hourly. But you feel, for the first time since the hospital, like you're not white-knuckling your way through this alone anymore. You are 6 weeks in now, standing at the window at 7 a.m. with her asleep on your chest, sun coming through blinds you still haven't washed. You feel the weight of her breathing settle into your own, slow and even. And you realize this is the first morning you haven't counted anything. Not dollars, not hours, not what's wrong with you. You do not feel like the parent from that hospital room picture in your head. You feel like someone new. Someone built out of cracked bottle warmers and 3 a.m. floors and one honest text message you almost don't send. You feel proud of that person, quietly, without needing anyone to confirm it. You do understand now that the collapse isn't a failure. It's the cost of becoming someone new fast, without a map, without a rehearsal. The identity you're grieving isn't gone, it's just making room for this one. You feel her stir, and you don't tense up. You just wait, steady, present, no longer performing fine for anyone. So, do you send that text, that first hard night? Or do you stay quiet, the way so many of us do? If tonight feels heavier than one hard night should feel, you don't have to carry it alone. A doctor, midwife, or a maternal mental health line can help you find solid ground again.